to Abis Den, you can see two machines in front of me. They look identical, don't they? But there is a slight difference, and it's in the names. This is one I picked up off Vinted for £7.50 and repaired, brought back to life. This one I bought off Amazon, pretty new, only a couple of weeks ago. Now, what are the differences? Why is the price significantly more than it used to be? Well, let's have a look. The feet that they give you are the same. The rubber bobbins is the same. They were manufactured in Vietnam, so they're both manufactured in the same factory, probably. Distinctly look the same. They have the same number of stitches. So you're wondering, as I was, what's the difference? Why is this one, the LS14s, costing me more? And what does the S stand for? What's the difference? I'd like to know, wouldn't you? And that's what this video is all about. So I'm an engineer. I have worked on various sorts of machines. So before we get into the machines, I want to show you what I've actually found on the internet about the LS14 and the 14s. I found this website. It's called Best Advisors. It's one of the most visited comparison pages for these two machines. And this is what it says about the LS14, including one buttonhole stitch. One. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the dial on my LS14 right now, and you can have a look at your own machine. There are clearly 4 steps, A, B, C and D. So that's the same on the LS14. It's clear whoever wrote that has never touched either of these machines. But it gets better. In their extras column, the LS14 gets 4-step buttonhole listed as a feature, but they just told us above it's a 1 buttonhole stitch. So they're contradicting themselves on the same page. And then there's this. Their key specs section uses customer opinions to turn into pie charts, as if they look technical facts. Now, the locking stitch button, for example, is that a yes or a no? Now, look at your machine and look at this one on the screen. It's clear there is no button to lock the stitch, but there are 26 people who say yes. That isn't a specification. So then we look at the weights. Brothers spec sheet says 6.4 kilograms, and that's the same, which converts into 14 pounds, which is rounding up to 6.35 kilograms. But if you look on Amazon, it's listed as 5.1 kilogram. And that's over a kilogram lighter. The same machine, 3 sources, 3 different weights. Nobody is checking. And then I found this gem. One review site says, and I quote, "The rigid metal frame provides stability to prevent accidents." What accidents? Right, is your sewing machine actually going to attack you? I mean, I've been repairing these machines for years. I've never once thought, thank goodness for this metal chassis, that could have been nasty. Let me show you what the actual documentation says, and this bit is important because it's going to save you some money. Okay, so I've got both manuals up here. Let's start with the product codes on the cover. So you've got the LS14s from Brothers' own website, which is the chassis numbers there, 888. Then you've got the X64, the X74, X84, 67, 77 and 87. And this is where it gets interesting. So the manual Amazon are giving to customers to download is for the LS14s, but it's actually the old LS14 manual. Wrong machine. Nobody has flagged it. So if you've bought an LS14s from Amazon and downloaded the manual, you're reading the wrong one. So Brothers' correct manual is on their own support website, and I can put the link in the description. So why does any of this matter? People are buying and selling these machines second-hand, left, right and centre. And you may be picking up a second-hand one that looks similar, like the John Lewis one. The John Lewis one is the LK14s. Right, so it's the same family, it's the same name, it sounds like an upgrade. I mean, it's John Lewis, but just look at the manual. It's got the older batch codes, and sellers actually don't know what they have, and buyers don't know what they're buying. So that's why these codes are important. So if you're buying secondhand, this is what you do. Get in touch with the seller and ask them if they've got the manual to hand. And most sellers usually do. People are really good at looking after their stuff with their machines. Ask them what the manual says. If it reads anything like 888, X53 to 56, then leave it. It's an old machine. It's going to cause you a lot of problems. It's not up to date. If it's 888, X64 or anything newer than that, that's something that you might want to consider buying. Okay, so on this, we've got a spool pin hole without a spool pin. So me being me, I decided that I'm not going to spend money on a spool pin when I've already got tons of them that I don't ever use. None of them actually fit, nor the brother ones. So I made one from wood. Bit of doweling, nothing special. And it's just in case any of you want to be creative, it's 5mm wide. You don't have to spend any money on it, but you can pop that on your machine, save yourself pennies. Go anywhere else, buy a different machine from a different manufacturer, you'll get your second spool pin. I don't understand why we didn't get it in this one, but there you have it. Any machine that offers a zigzag basically offers you twin needle stitching. So if your machine can do a zigzag, which is most modern machines, your machine is going to be able to do twin needle stitching. Now, a twin needle is a peg with 2 needles attached to it. And so essentially you're putting that one peg that looks like the top of a needle into the needle clamp in your machine. So the first problem is they don't have a separate threading path. So you're following the exact same path as the original threading. Even at the bottom, when you get to the needle, you're sharing the same hook before you feed it into the needles. So that's why you were restricted with the twin needle stitching to straight stitch. Brother don't recommend zigzag, but if you do zigzag, they will restrict you to a 1.5mm zigzag. For me, that's a bit of a frustration, but it's a workaround. It's a brother workaround. It's not a system. It's not the best solution, but they're giving you that hole for the peg, and that's twin needle stitching. I'm setting both machines up with twin needles to see how they perform. The LS14s has a dowel spindle on it, but that's not going to make any difference to the result. So have a look at the stitch. In the corner, I've put a clip from a previous video showing what a twin needle stitching should look like. 4 was too tight, top threading pulling too hard. Changing it to 2 is too loose, and 3 is tight again. So it's going to be very difficult to get a consistent result on the LS14s. Now look at this. The thread pulls out really easily, so that's not twin needle quality stitching. So now doing the same on the LS14, you get the same result. I've used the bobbin pin hack with the spindle, and again, that makes no difference. Same thread path, same needle, same fabric, same mechanism. The results are equally the same on both machines. So in my opinion, and this is my opinion, neither the LS14 nor the LS14s is designed for twin needle sewing in any meaningful way. The metalwork that's inside there, the gears, the bushings, the shafts, everything that drives this machine and that machine. So they're both essentially the same inside. The codes that come after, they're the ones that tell you, has the colour changed? Have they included another bobbin? Have they added a new foot or changed the screwdriver? So that's where you'll see the difference. So when we see the same machine but with a different design on it, you'll see those codes after the 888 change. And that's the interesting part. Even with the John Lewis one, the LK14s, the 3/8s are the same, telling me that the model inside this shell is the same. If there was anything substantial, we would have noticed it in the weight. But what we can do a sound test. I'm going to, for the next part of the observation, weigh these chassis. I'm using my kitchen scales. I'm showing you the backs because both the backs are the same, so there's no need for me to take them off. Okay, so this is the newer version. So we've got a significant difference in the weight, but that one has less metal in it, so we're losing metal on that one, which means in order for it to be performing at the same sort of quality of that, they must be using high quality plastic, which is more expensive than metal, or they're not using metal and they're using cheaper parts and replacing parts with plastic. Let me show you this. So on this one, they have this spring, and what that does is it helps control the lateral movement. So that's the zigzag movement on this machine. So it gives a crisper zigzag, a more pointy zigzag, and you'll see it's missing off the new model. So they've put a cam somewhere, they've put a gear somewhere, because it does do zigzag, doesn't it? We've seen that. We talked about this in the other video. The new grease is clear, isn't it? But you can see there is some yellowing. It's not 100% clear, you know, got some brown and orange tinges to it. Now you can see there's some orange tinges to that grease there. And that's just time, and that's age. And you can see it on the hand wheel, the colours change. The quality of Abis becomes, you know, brittle and weaker. The new model has less support, so when you're sewing, when you're putting your weight on there, it's more liable to rot. This one isn't moving at all, so they've got rid of this steel base plate from the older model. I wonder why they did that. Another observation here. So we're using a small spring here to control the mechanism, but on the older machine they used a good solid chunk of metal, and again I wonder why have they gone down on the quality when you were hoping they would go up? I don't know if I can see a small crack in that. The comparison websites pointed out that this machine's got an LED light, but if you have a look, exactly the same. Another comparison, have a look at the motor, the 6500. and we've got the same motor on the older one. So they've not improved on the motor. Remember on the repair video, as I was fixing the fan, little teeth kept falling off, and that will happen because it's ABS. ABS will bristle, we know that. We can see it, there's evidence, you know, they're using the same parts. So that will start to yellow, and that will start to yellow, and that will be because of the oil, probably, not because it's exposed to UV. Yes, this is silver. Doesn't mean anything though, because hardened steel, it doesn't have to be dark. They have used a metal hook in the race, and there it's plastic. Now I'm going to test some stitches on these two machines. Now we know that the chassis are the same, the stitching should be the same. There's nothing really different about it other than the shell, and that's becoming more and more obvious the more I sit them next to each other. So this is what surprised me. The LS14s has satin stitches just like the LS14. There's nothing different in that because they're the same on the inside. What these stitches do is they give a fine narrow stitch, zigzag stitch around a patch, which is what I did on my tote bag. So you've got 3 different types, different weights of fabric, get different results, and that's the whole point of having them. But let me show you what they actually produce. Bearing in mind the LS14s is the new one. So the LS14s is the new one. I've had this for a couple of weeks, so I'm not expecting any sort of change or damage, and it should be exactly as it was when I bought it brand new and out of the box. So we're going to start with, we'll start with the tightest one. Let's see what we get. Okay, we'll stop there. What I'll do is I'll just pivot the fabric round and go straight onto the middle stitch. Pivot that round. Let's get the widest. Here's a result of the LS14s. So this is the 14, and here's the stitch out from that. I think this is a lot better. This is the machine they've made obsolete. So what the machine is now producing is a lesser quality, and no marketing language is going to change it. That's what you're getting. Well, it's been 2 days. We've got 2 machines. I use kitchen scales. I use Brothers documentation, online reviews. I even used a piece of dowel, but I still don't think I've worked it out. But what I can tell you is what the S doesn't stand for. It's not S for stitches. There aren't any more stitches on one. The same motor is used, the same pedal is used. Does it stand for stronger? No, there's almost 300 grams difference. You've got the older one that weighs more because it has more support. And going with that, does that stand for sturdier? If I put my hand there, you'll see it wobbles, and if I put any weight on there, it falls over. I hope I haven't broken it because I've still got other videos to make for you, but it's certainly not sturdier, is it? What else could it be? Could it be stitches? No, it doesn't have any more stitches. Does it have a superior motor? No, we've established it has the same motor, and not a very good one, because we saw in the repair video it will fall apart right in front of your very eyes. Stitch quality. Did we see any improvement on the stitch quality? Well, we discovered that no, we don't. We can't work out exactly why. There is a spring on the older one that has a robust lateral movement, which has disappeared from the newer one. But that wasn't the problem with the zigzag, was it? It was more the movement going forward. So something with the feed dogs isn't supporting the movement on the feed dog, so we're not getting that distinction between the 3 satin stitches. And the LED lighting, they've both clearly got LED lighting, which somebody else has raised or emphasises, but the comparison reviews, and please do look them up yourselves, some of them are quite comical, and there is a lot of emphasis on what's in the new one. And when they have to strongly emphasise it's a metal chassis constantly on this machine, is it really any different from every other machine that you buy? What perhaps it could stand for is the restyled shell. It has a hole in it for a spindle for a twin needle, but we didn't get the spool pin. So, and that's a marketing gimmick they could have thrown in and cost them pennies. So would you say it was twin needle ready? Well, I wouldn't, not in any sort of meaningful sense anyway. But looking at the reviews and people's opinions, you've got to consider those reviews are really something that people are going to give on the first day of using the machine or the first few weeks. They're excited, they're happy, it's shiny, it's new. And even I looked at the grease and thought, oh yes, that's clear, but actually there is a tinge to it. And if you follow it over a couple of years, maybe a little bit longer, you're going to see that yellowing coming forward. And why would they at this price point? Why would you change much? And it's working. They've not changed the style, in that they've not changed the colour. It's a branding people recognise, and selling over 1,000 models of this machine a month just on Amazon. Why would you change it? It works for them. So they keep it cheap. They've gone lighter. They're saving on costs. There is more materials around the housing of the bobbin and the older model. There's more structure around the bobbin winder, and there is no notable difference in any other way. This is evidence-based. This is what we saw together. I did say earlier on the X53 is a model not to consider, but now looking at the results, having opened it up, the X53 is way more sturdy, has a lot more metal in it than the newer X84 models. So if you've spotted anything different on your machine, perhaps you can come up with a different word for the letter S and put it in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to hear what you think the S could stand for. So I'm going to leave that with you, Andrew. I don't know. What does the S stand for?